Good afternoon, guys. Aaron Dorr here at the New York State Firearms Association. We are actually live on the ground right now in East St. Louis, Illinois, right across the river from St. Louis, Missouri, because today is a huge court battle going on right now here in East St. Louis over Illinois' recently enacted ban on the sale of AR-15s. Similar to New York's SAFE Act, it's a much more recent development, and the case is going on right now. And the outcome of cases like this will likely determine the next steps for all of us here in New York when it comes to future legal action against Kathy Hochul on the SAFE Act. So the backdrop here is pretty simple. This law took effect early in 2023. There was immediately and predictably 6 or 7 different lawsuits filed against this in federal court. Those have all been kind of combined into one great big omnibus lawsuit, so to speak. And initially, the district court judge granted an injunction that blocked the enforcement of the tyrannical BS here in Illinois. Immediately, the state of Illinois asked the 7th Circuit to override that lower court judge, and they did so, and they undid the injunction. So the law was again enforceable. During that time, then, our organization filed amicus briefs joining lawsuits here in Illinois, making the case that this entire thing is unconstitutional and it's BS. It's always been BS, but especially now, post-Bruin, this is not constitutional. The Seventh Circuit's not exactly a very friendly circuit. That's based out of Chicago. No big surprise there. They did not side with us at the appellate level. From there, various organizations, including ours, asked the United States Supreme Court to intervene and give relief in this matter. The Supreme Court said, well, Clarence Thomas said he'd love to have the case, and so did Samuel Alito. But the rest of the court said we cannot take up this case until it's gone through the entire process, and that means an actual bench trial in court. That is going on right now, again, here today in East St. Louis. There are 5 days locked out for this case, and when it's done, federal court judge Stephen McGlynn has a couple of options. He could say, well, the law is constitutional, and he could uphold it. In that case, the appeal will be made immediately by the pro-gun side to the circuit court. Or he could say, which is far more likely, he's a Trump-appointed pro-gun judge after all, he could more likely say, this is BS, and he could find against it, and he could block the enforcement of it. If he does that, and I think the odds are that he will, the state of Illinois will then immediately appeal for a block on that, or a stay on that order from the higher courts, and they will most certainly get that. What does all this mean? The bottom line is that we have got to get through district court, then circuit court, and then this case can be appealed to the United States Supreme Court. The New York State Firearms Association is on this case because we know this may be the fastest way for us to get relief for New Yorkers who are still languishing under the BS SAFE Act that was passed in 2013. So there's a lot riding on this case. There is a parallel case underway right now in Maryland. It is the Bianchi case. Either of these two court cases will be probably the first two to get to the United States Supreme Court at some time down the road, where hopefully Clarence Thomas and Alito and all the rest of the conservatives on the bench can strike down once and for all the unconstitutional, tyrannical assault weapons bans that are underway, not just in Illinois, not just in New York, but 12 states now across the country that have enacted these unconstitutional laws. So guys, thank you for all the members of this organization who've helped us fight on a lawsuit that doesn't even directly impact us here in New York, but impacts gun owners nationwide. Again, the victories that we were able to achieve here in Illinois will have a direct influence on our lives in New York State. Much more to come, guys. Get more involved today at joinnysfa.com or our full website, NewYorkStateFirearmsAssociation.org.